So plastic was invented and put to use because it was solving problems.
Plastics can be super, super thin, but yet carry a lot of weight.
They lightweight cars, they bring food preservation.
They are fully integrated into everything we do.
Plastics aren't bad, plastics are good. What is bad though is the plastic waste problem.
So today we recycle paper, we recycle aluminum as often as we can, glass. We need to apply those same recycling principles and infrastructure to plastics.
When we talk about an issue as complex and global as the plastic waste crisis, there's not a one-size-fits-all approach with something like this.
So there's two different major categories of recycling today. Mechanical recycling is when you take a plastic component and you grind it, wash it, dry it, and then you remold it into something new. So today in the US, we recycle about 9% of all plastics.
Advanced recycling is different than mechanical recycling, but it is complementary.
Advanced recycling is saying we're going to take the most challenging plastics and we're going to convert that back to their polymer state. Our end product is going to be exactly the same material.
When I was 5 years old, my dream was to be a race car driver of all things. My parents felt as though that was somewhat impractical. And so I went to the University of Vermont and studied chemistry.
I became an engineer really because of my family. I have two brothers that are chemical engineers, so we always joke that we start off Christmas with a safety meeting.
I decided to do a PhD. It was about implementing technology. It was about figuring out solutions to problems that exist.
I spent a lot of my summers and weekends on the farm where my mom was raised and the ranch where my dad was raised. And so lots of working with your hands, problem solving, and making things work. So our challenge was to find feedstock made from waste plastic and then reform it back into a pie oil so that we can then turn that recycled plastic back into new plastic.
When we start our research projects, we usually start them on the small scale. And if that all looks, good, promising, they're scaled up.
When I first got involved with this project, I was looking at what pyrolysis oil looked like, and I was looking at this material and say, we can't really use this in our current operation. Jake Hilbert came by my office and he said, why not? Why can't you?
One of the toughest problems we really had to work on is contaminants that come in with this feedstock and how we can manage those contaminants into our units.
This equipment that we operate is very expensive equipment, operating at temperatures up to 1800 degrees. Whenever we put new material into this equipment, if anything goes wrong with it, it can take a week to 2 weeks to clear all that out. And so then every step of the way, there's a lot of analysis going, a lot of evaluation.
It can take, all these different materials in and say we're going to convert those back to plastics. That's what's advanced about it, because it's really kind of opening up the envelope of the plastics that we can recycle.
When I see a giant mound of plastic waste at a landfill, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, look at all that feedstock that's sitting there that they're about to bury. If I could get my hands on that.
Polypropylene is a material that can be recycled about 160 times. So there's a lot of motivation for us to solve this problem.
We have got to work hard to get the circular economy institutionalized across the world.
One of the most exciting days we had recently was back in August, and we went to a municipal recycling facility and we could see plastic that we had made, and then it was being taken over to another facility where it was being converted back into feedstock. To be able to see the circle completed was amazing.
A circular economy is an economic system that increases resource efficiency. Advanced recycling, because it keeps that molecule in play for as long as possible and at an economic value, aligns with the principles of a circular economy.
So I like to say that in advanced recycling, we started with 3 guys in a conference room. Now we have, it feels like 5,000 volunteers helping us.
One of the things I really love about it is that with people's different backgrounds and different competencies, they look at problems differently. So I always say that, I have a problem over here and, somebody else has a solution over here.
I see opportunities to shape where our society can go, opportunities to advance our sustainability goals, and opportunities to change the way we operate.
So I'm a grandfather now. I have a 14-month-old granddaughter, and She's beautiful. We need to be thinking about what her world looks like in 20, 30, 40 years.